from all the students who are visiting Parliament today, and to let you know that this is where all elected members of Parliament sit to make laws in this country. We are so excited to have you here, courtesy of our Speaker. The Speaker is like the principal that you have in school. We all obey him, and I want to take this opportunity to tell you, please obey your teachers, obey your principals, obey your parents, because they are modeling you to become good citizens of this country. You are sitting there as a potential engineer, as a potential doctor, a potential member of parliament, and a potential strong speaker. So we want to take this opportunity to tell you, please, just make the observation, and what you see here, go and practice this out there. We expect to see you in the future in this parliament. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to make a request for statement regarding the impact of failed rains on crop production and food security in the North Rift region. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock regarding the impact of the prolonged dry spell on crop production and food security in the North Rift region. Honorable Speaker, the North Rift region comprising, among others, Nandi, Uasin Gishu, Trans Nzoia, Elgeyo Marakwet counties contribute significantly to the country's food crop production. At the onset of long rain season, farmers across the North Rift region planted maize and other food crops in anticipation of favorable weather conditions. However, the region has since experienced a prolonged dry spell during the critical stages of crop growth, resulting in widespread wilting of crops and a risk of significant yield losses. This is exacerbated by reported shortages and delays in distribution of subsidized top-dressing fertilizer, which is expected to adversely affect crop production. The situation has raised concerns across the region as it threatens household incomes, stability of food prices, and food security in the country. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on the following. Number one, a report by the Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Department on the extent of crop damage and projected reduction in maize and other food crop yields in the North Rift region. The anticipated impact of the projected production shortfall on national food security, strategic grain reserves, and the prices of staple foods. Number two, reasons for the reported shortages and delays in distribution of subsidized top-dressing fertilizer and actions taken to ensure timely and adequate supply of fertilizer. Number three, the measures being undertaken by the ministry to support affected farmers, including the provision of drought mitigation measures, crop insurance, support and access to subsidized and affordable farm inputs. And finally, the long-term strategies being implemented by the ministry to strengthen climate resilience in the agricultural sector, including investment in irrigation infrastructure and promotion of sustainable agricultural production in the country. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Chair, Agriculture. Any member of the committee? Justice, are you a member?
Yes, please.
Bring a response within the first week after recess.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker, but since it's a fairly weighty matter, I was requesting that we bring an answer the second week after recess so that we can get enough time.
So be it.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Daniel Manduku, Nyaribari Masaba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for statement regarding the disappearance of 2 Kenyan citizens in the Russian Federation. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44.2c, I wish to request for statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations regarding disappearance of 2 Kenyan citizens in the Russian Federation. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Frank Anyono Mare, holder of passport number that and ID number that, and Mr. Kevin Momanyi Onderi, holder of ID number that, departed Kenya for the Russian Federation on the 20th of October 2025. According to information provided by the respective families, the last communication with the 2 individuals was on the 4th of December 2025. Since that date, the families have neither heard from them nor established contact with them, and their whereabouts remain unknown. The circumstances surrounding their disappearance have raised serious concerns regarding their safety and welfare. Further, the prolonged loss of communication has caused immense anxiety, distress, and uncertainty to their families. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on the following. 1, a report on the whereabouts of Mr. Frank Anyona Omare and Mr. Kevin Momanyi Onderi, including the measures taken by the government through the Kenyan Embassy in the Russian Federation to establish their place of residence and employment status. Number 2, the measures being taken by the government to safeguard the welfare of Kenyan citizens residing, working, or studying abroad, including protocols in place to assist those who are reported missing or in distress. And number 3, the measures put in place to strengthen the monitoring, protection, and consular support for Kenyans living abroad, particularly those traveling for employment or other engagements in unfamiliar jurisdictions. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Bashir, this is to your committee. When can you bring a response?
Honorable Speaker, we'll be able to bring a response within the first 2 weeks upon reception from recess.
Thank you. Tungule Kazungu. Honorable Tungule Kazungu. Question, statement dropped. Edith Nyenze, Kitui West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to request for a statement regarding delayed repair and maintenance of electricity transformers in Kitui West constituency. Honorable Speaker, first word to the provisions of Standing Order number 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Energy regarding delayed repair and maintenance of electricity transformers in Kitui West constituency. Honorable Speaker, residents of Kitui West constituency, particularly those in Nyuane community, Kadhuma, Zemeli, Kwamboya, Mutonga, Kabo, Kilimo, Nguni, Kataa, Ebuliamu, Komu, Kwanyingi, Ilakomututa, and Sangala primary school have endured prolonged power outages for several months following the breakdown of electricity transformers serving them. In addition, the prolonged delay in repair and maintenance of the faulty transformers has resulted in socioeconomic challenges. For instance, learning institutions are unable to effectively utilize digital learning facilities, thereby compromising the quality of education. Health facilities are unable to operate essential medical equipments, preserve vaccines and medicines, or provide adequate lighting for the delivery of health care services. Despite numerous reports made to the Kenya Power and Lighting Company regional office in Kitui Town, no meaningful action has taken place to repair or replace the affected transformers. Honorable Speaker, dates when faults in respect of transformers were reported and the action taken to date, including improving of response time for transformer failures across the Kitui West constituency. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Makali Mulu. You want to joyride?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. I just want to say one or two things, Honorable Speaker. First of all, is to thank Honorable Nyenze for raising this matter, Honorable Speaker, because it's also happening in my constituency. And Honorable Speaker, I think this war between REREC and Kenya Power is what is causing all this problem. at them in their system. But they what is just power. They don't have power. And this answer has been provided, Honorable Speaker. It would be important for the committee concerned to have both Kenya Power and RELEC to confirm that they are working as a team. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, just to inform you that yes, yesterday when the Honorable Wangari was sitting in your place, this question of faulty generators, of transformers, was raised by the Honorable Tonui, and that it was the members were really concerned. There was a big, there was a lot of reactions on that. And I think that this requires a very, very comprehensive answer, including asking the minister himself to come to the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Actually, as the way put by members, we really face a lot of challenge as a country on the aspect of delivery of power connectivity. The other big question that need to be answered, or who should be procuring the meters between REREC and Kenya Power, because the biggest challenge and problem we have now is not only construction of poles and wires, it is the actual putting of power to the households for the purpose of finishing up the process for value for money. So if a minister would be called upon here, the biggest question ought to be answered now is availability of meters. There have been a question of who is to procure, and it has derailed. Now we have projects which have been constructed. It is not completed because there is absence of meters in the country completely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what we need to do is the minister the CS should be asked. REREC builds electricity in the rural area. After doing the infrastructure, Kenya Power is supposed to take over and ensure there is maintenance, there is connection, and everyone has electricity. But what is happening, Mr. Speaker, today the fight between REREC and Kenya Power is beyond the consumer. And you find many a times and even when you see the quotations, if you go to Kenya Power and ask for a quotation that you need electricity, the amount they charge you is so high that you find a client who was going to pay them even per month 3 million cannot even connect, Mr. Speaker. So we have to first deal with what is the challenge between the two institutions and what is this power fight that they have. Then now we go to how we assist Kenyans in getting light, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would also want to join my colleagues. There is a big problem with REREC, and there is lack of clarity in explanation. A situation whereby, Honorable Speaker, there was 10 million, which was in the last financial year, that electricity was to be supplied in specific points in Karachuonyo constituency, and particularly the markets where I represent the women in empowerment. And remember, in the rural areas, Honorable Speaker, the women concentrate on the late hours, whereby some of the market operations, they have to sell their goods, mostly from 4 going onwards. There is this problem of matching fund. I've visited the PS office, and the question is, they're not giving me adequate solution. Officers had been sent on the ground, Honorable Speaker, designs have been done, and I'd even told them and advised, I don't even need this matching fund. I only want them to sample out what is enough or adequate for 10 million. Kibiri Ward, Kandiege Market, and other markets, the fund is there. They are still talking of, I wait for matching fund. Honorable Speaker, I don't need matching fund. I want them to utilize the 10 million. I think it is critical that REREC should not take us for a ride. I agree. The departmental committee should speed up so that we are not entertained with issues of wait for matching fund. What is available should be utilized, Honorable Speaker. Kandiege is suffering. Karachuonyo is suffering. The markets are suffering. I call for speedy action. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
We'll stop there on that. Chair Energy. Chair Energy, I thought there was a vice chair somewhere. Leadership? Yes, because you are the pretender to the throne.
No, I'm sitting in for the majority leader, and I'll be able to convey the message.
That they bring a response third week after recess.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I'm told statement number 9, Honorable Kibagendi had indicated that we take it off the order paper. He's not here today. Dr. Joyce Bensouda, Homa Bay County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to request for statement regarding the implementation of gender-responsive and child-sensitive budgeting in the financial year 2026-2027 budget. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Orders 44-2C, I wish to request for the statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning regarding the implementation of gender-responsive budgeting and child-sensitive budgeting in the financial year 2026-2027 budget. Honorable Speaker, the National Treasury has over the last 4 financial years consistently issued budget review and outlook papers and budget circulars directing ministries, departmental and agencies to mainstream gender-responsive budgeting and child-sensitive budgeting in the planning and budgeting process. This measure are intended to promote gender equality, safeguard the rights and welfare of the children, and ensure equitable allocation of public resources across all sectors. Despite these policy commitments, concerns have persisted regarding the extent to which this policy commitment, the extent to which these budgeting approaches have been integrated into the current budget, as well as the continued delay in developing and operationalizing the implementation, monitoring, and reporting guidance necessary to support their effective execution. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on the following. A report on the extent of integration of gender-responsive and child-sensitive budgeting from the financial 2026-2027 budget and the midterm expenditure framework, including the performance indicators and reporting mechanisms for monitoring and evaluating implementation. 2, reasons for the delayed formulation and operationalization of the guidelines intended to facilitate the implementation, monitoring, and reporting of gender-responsive and child-sensitive budget despite repeated commitments in National Treasury budget, circular over the past 4 years, and indicate the timeline for their completion and rollout. And finally, indication on whether the financial year of 2026-2027 budget contains specific allocation for the implementation of the recommendation of the Technical Working Group report on gender-based violence, and if so, the detail of the allocation, the implementing agencies, and the programs to be funded, and the expected outcomes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Bensouda. Finance and National Planning, Kimani, when can you bring a response? First week?
So, Honorable Speaker, I'm thinking of the magnitude of the kind of report that Dr. Bensouda is asking for. We will need like 2 months to bring such a report. You're talking about analysis of the whole budget of the Republic of Kenya and to find out how that budget is responsive to needs of children and gender. That is a very, very detailed report, Honorable Speaker.
So I give
Maybe
you
1 month. It's not 2 months.
including recess, so you bring third week.
Excluding one month, excluding recess.
No, bring in the third week after recess.
Thank you.
Yes, David Ocheng.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to add my voice onto that particular request.
Yes.
And request my friend, the chair of Finance Committee, that this isn't an academic question. It is the question. It is the question. And even if you take 3 months, take 3, but give us a report on how our budget responds to what she's asked for. Gender, minorities, PWD, children. It is what's required by our constitution. And equity and all these things. Mr. Speaker, this would really help because I'm working on a bill to mainstream that, and I would want to use the report of that bill or the report of that committee to help meet my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll do that. Honorable members, we have, yes, Oundo.
Speaker, I'm just wondering, in view of the matter, this is a matter regarding budget review. And I thought the budget review goes to Budget and Appropriation Committee. I'm not so sure how the Finance and National Planning comes into it. And then also to add what my neighbor, Honorable David Ochieng, has stated, could we as well even expand the question to ensure that the budget's unpacked to find out those programs in terms of regional representation, probably to the lowest level of representation, be it the county or the constituency, so that we need to know to what extent does the budget speak for Kenyans and what extent does it go to all the parts of this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You know, it's very strange, the questions you honorable members are asking. You are the ones who passed the budget here. So you can't pass a budget a month ago and come and say you want to know to what extent the budget speaks to Kenyans. I don't understand that, but it's up to the chairman. Kimani, you'll liaise with your budget colleague if you need additional information and bring. Honorable members, in the public gallery, we have Emmanuel School from Naivasha, Nakuru. Students, when you are mentioned, you stand up to be acknowledged. Then we have Muserechi Comprehensive School from Eldama Ravine, Baringo, in the public gallery. Then in Speaker's Gallery, we have Kenyatta Secondary School from Nakuru West, Nakuru. And also in the Speaker's Gallery, I wish to introduce to the House a delegation of student leaders from the United States University Africa, United States International University Africa, and members of the Young Diplomats Forum, YDF, who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. The delegation is visiting the National Assembly as a part of a mentorship program aimed at providing practical exposure to the legislative process, parliamentary governance, parliamentary diplomacy, and the work of the National Assembly, while fostering a deeper appreciation of civic responsibility and public leadership. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome all our visitors this afternoon to the House of Parliament. Next, Dr. Irene Kasalu. Hold on, Irene. Yes, Musa Sirma?
Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the House for welcoming our visitors who are in the public gallery, the students, and especially from Muserechi Comprehensive School, which are in my constituency. On behalf of the House, I would like to welcome them to Parliament and think about being here in future or become whatever you want to be in your life. But all in all, we are happy that you have visited Parliament. Thank you.
Irene Kasalu, Kitui County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to request for statement regarding the escalating cases of elephants invasions in Kitui County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding the escalating cases of elephants invasion in parts of Kitui County. Honorable Speaker, the residents of Makuka, Ilamba, Engamba, Kitumwe, and Gali sublocations in Kitui County have, for the last 5 years, endured frequent invasions by elephants straying from Savo East National Park and Kora Game Reserve into villages and farmlands. The situation has become increasingly dire, posing a serious threat to the livelihoods and safety of the affected communities. The recurring invasions have also resulted in the destruction of crops that are the main source of food and income for the local households. The elephants have also damaged homes and other properties, forcing residents to spend sleepless nights guarding their farms and living in constant fear of attacks. Honorable Speaker, the situation turned tragic last month when a stray elephant killed a lady, Ms. Kavita Maivia, in Kasala area. This unfortunate incident has heightened anxiety among residents who now fear for their lives. Despite numerous reports to the relevant authorities over the years, the response has largely been reactive and inadequate, leaving affected communities vulnerable to continuous loss of life, destruction of property, poor food security, and economic hardship. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following. Number one, immediate and long-term measures being taken by the ministry and the Kenya Wildlife Services to address elephants' invasion in farms and settlements. And number two, status of compensation for the family of Ms. Kavita Maivia, as well as compensation for farmers and households that have suffered loss of crops, property, and other damages resulting from elephant invasions over the past 5 years. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, sit. Thank you, Kasalu. Chair Tourism. Chair Tourism. Bukose hold brief for majority, inform them to bring a response third week.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the majority, we'll make sure that the Chair Tourism is well informed. Thank you.
Amos Mwago, Starehe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A request for a statement regarding the implementation of the instant fine system. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding implementation of the instant fines system by the National Transport Safety Authority, NTSA. Honorable Speaker, NTSA recently commenced the implementation of an automated instant fine system that utilizes surveillance cameras to detect traffic offenses and issue instant fines to motorists for minor traffic violations. The system is intended to enhance compliance with traffic laws, promote road safety, and reduce road traffic accidents by enabling the swift enforcement of traffic regulations without necessarily subjecting offenders to lengthy court processes. However, the implementation of the system has generated considerable public concern regarding the adequacy of public sensitization, the presence and visibility of speed limit signage, the fairness of the enforcement process, and the mechanisms available for motorists to challenge fines issued through the automated system. Honorable Speaker, it is again in this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1. Evidence that clear and visible speed limits and other traffic signages have been placed in all road sections covered under instant fine systems, and motorists are adequately sensitized on the operationalization of the system. 2, the plans put in place to ensure other road sections across the country are under the automated instant fine system. And 3, system safeguards put in place to guarantee accuracy and integrity of the instant fine system. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Transport and Infrastructure. Yes, Nabuin, you are a member of the committee?
No, I'm not. Just I rejoined.
You are joyriding?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, before the last recess, I had given a statement to the same committee over 2 roads that have not been done in my constituency. The response was supposed to come 2 weeks after the recess, but to date we are headed to another recess, and I haven't received any response. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You can see even the chair is not here. So majority leader has just walked in.
I'm a committee.
Honorable Naika, there is no chair here, there is the speaker.
Yes, but I'm a member of the Committee of Transport.
Yes.
I just wanted to
Hold brief for your chair.
Yes, I will
and
brief my
bring
chair.
a response
Yes,
2 weeks
so that he can
after
brief.
recess.
Yes, Chair.
Yes,
Okay, Mr.
Kimani?
Speaker.
So, Honorable Speaker, I would also like to joyride on this particular matter. Honorable Speaker, this issue of fines, instant fines on these motor vehicles, I think it also needs to be rethought on who the fine is to. An example, Honorable Speaker, is if I have 10 vehicles, for example, that I use as Uber vehicles, and the drivers who drive those cars drive them dangerously, and now they are fined, but then that fine ends up being on the logbook of those particular vehicles, and so it does not deter the behavior of the driver. So perhaps the thinking should be the fines on the driving license of that driver rather than on the logbook. Honorable Speaker, another complication would be those loans, those vehicles that are unknown. Say, for example, the logbook is a joint ownership between the bank, for example, and the borrower. So when now this fine is lodged on the logbook of that particular vehicle, then it affects the lender, who might be the bank or even these other smaller lenders for motorcycles, Honorable Speaker. So I think I would like to be enjoined on that particular case so that I can give my input on that particular fine system, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Naika, he has already left? You are very nomadic, Naika. You bring a response 2 weeks after recess and take into account what the Honorable Member for Molo has said.
Quite obliged, Honorable Speaker.
I will revisit statement number 7, Kazungu Tungule.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And first of all, my apologies for not being there when my statement was called. It was due to very unavoidable circumstances. Honorable Speaker, this is a request for a statement regarding the electrocution of Ms. Rita Mapenzi Kenneth and the safety of electricity infrastructure in Ganze constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provision of Standing Order number 444-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairman of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding the electrocution of Ms. Rita Mapenzi Kenneth and the safety of electricity infrastructure in Ganze constituency. Honorable Speaker, on 23rd of May 2026, Ms. Rita Mapenzi Kenneth, a 13-year-old grade 7 pupil at Ganze Primary School, sustained severe injuries after stepping on a live electric wire that was lying on the ground following the collapse of electricity poles while walking home from school. The victim, who was walking home from school, suffered extensive burns, resulting in the amputation of both legs and one arm at Kilifi, and is admitted at Kilifi County Referral Hospital. The matter was reported to Ganze Police Station under OB number 07 23 526 and to the Kenya Power and Lighting Company KPLC offices in Kilifi. However, KPLC has not engaged the family or provided any assistance, leaving them to shoulder the medical expenses and related costs alone. The incident has also raised concerns over the safety of electricity infrastructure in Ganze constituency, where fallen poles, low-lying and exposed live wires continue to pose a serious risk to the residents. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee on Energy on the following. A, or number one, a report on the incidences of electrocution of Ms. Rita Mapenzi Kenneth and the findings of investigations, if any, conducted by KPLC into the incident, and the action taken against officers found to have been negligent. Number two, the steps that KPLC has taken to ensure that Ms. Rita Mapenzi Kenneth receives adequate medical care, rehabilitation services, including provision of prosthetic limbs, and fair and timely compensation for the permanent psychological effects of the resultant amputation and disability. Number three, immediate interventions that KPLC has undertaken to inspect, repair, and secure damaged electricity infrastructure, particularly fallen electricity poles and exposed live wires in Ganze constituency. And lastly, the long-term measures put in place by KPLC to strengthen the maintenance, inspection, and monitoring of electricity infrastructure across the country in order to prevent recurrence of similar incidents. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Tungule. Chair Energy, Majority Leader, you can inform them to bring a response.
After the recess.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I prepare for my statement, allow me to also mention something on the instant fines on this statement by Honorable Mwago. And indeed, the committee has some work to do, but principally to make sure that there is adequate signage and Kenyans know what speed limits are allowed on what kind of road. If you're on the expressway, you can do 100 and something. If you're on a feeder road, what is the speed limit that you're supposed to be driving on or at, so that people don't also get unfairly fined because they didn't know. But also to ask Kenyans, Honorable Speaker, to also maintain relatively safe speeding on our roads. Because, Honorable Speaker, the lesser evil to deal with is to deal with fines and penalties than the kind of deaths and loss of life that we have seen, and especially as we move towards the festive seasons at the end of the year. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader, is much more than that.
Yes.
Our roads are not just unsafe because of speeding. We have the border problem. I'm sure you have noticed this.
Yes.
We have the matatu menace. We have overspeeding drivers. We have all manner of problems, and we need a holistic approach to make our roads safe.
Yes.
For everybody.
True, Honorable Speaker, because even our good friends, the border riders, you've seen they keep cutting everybody on the road.
Yes.
And the moment a motorist touches one of them, they all descend on the motorist.
And burn down your car.
And burn down your car, injure the motorists. Honorable Speaker, these are issues that NTSA must be able to deal with. And I believe even this instant fine thing is good because it's also helping us to deal with the cases of corruption within the traffic police department. You know, police officers, Honorable Speaker, I'm sure even you, they have been lobbying you, as they lobby everybody. Every police officer wants to move to the traffic department because they'll be able to solicit bribes there. The way to end this culture of bribery on our roads is to deal with these instant fines. But also we have also issues to deal with, Honorable Speaker, and maybe I may also use this opportunity to speak to our courts. You remember when the government sought to register all phones, IMEA numbers, people went to court. And part of the issues I had the Chair Finance raise are such issues, so that my car is registered to my phone. And if I sell that car, when I go to make that transfer, then NTSA must, as a matter of principle, ensure that the person I have sold to has also put his number, whose IMEA number is registered, so that if they contravene the traffic laws, then the fines will go to them, not come to me. But as I said, Honorable Speaker, and as you say, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. and probably NTSA and the Ministry of Interior. I hope the Chair, Transport and Infrastructure, will ask him to not only engage with NTSA, but also involve the Traffic Police Department and the Ministry of Interior to see that we have a holistic approach to this issue of traffic. Honorable Speaker, moving on to my statement, Thursday statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, pursuant to Standing Order 44.2A. The House Business Committee met on Tuesday, 30th June 2026 to prioritize business for consideration during the week.
Yes, what is out of order, Hassan? You can't be talking while seated.
Mr. Speaker, I actually was requesting your attention so that I could contribute to the discussion rather than a point of order.
I'll give you a minute to, on the traffic fines.
Yes, yes.
And the madness on our roads.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. But is it not simplistic or easy to pass this particular problem to the NTCA, given the fact that this is a matter that this disorder and anarchy on our streets is deeply rooted in our national culture. The border culture, the matatu culture. This requires a national conversation and a major public education within our community. You cannot leave it simply to an organization like the NTCA. It is like asking the IEBC to deal with the political violence that is rampant in our own country. So I think this matter, having lived in many cities in the world, this city needs a major effort, a major remedy, which I think is beyond the NTCA, and we need all to get involved so that we can be part of that conversation and create the conditions to change the mindset of Kenyans so that we have a country where people abide by rules and where institutions like the police also enforce the rules. But at the moment, even though there are laws against some of those violations, it appears that the problem is so widespread and so enormous that even our police forces cannot deal with it without changing our mindset and our national culture.
Thank you, Hassan. Majority Leader, proceed. To be taken into account when they respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2A, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 30th June 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, I would like to inform members that the Kamkunji that had been scheduled for Thursday, 2nd July, which is today, to deliberate on stalled housing projects across the country was postponed in your communication, Honorable Speaker, as you said earlier in the week. And when the House resumes on Tuesday, 28th July 2026, it is expected to consider the following business, some of which is listed in today's order paper. Second reading of the following bills: the Books and Newspapers Amendment Bill of 2025, the Competition Amendment Bill of 2026, and the Business Law Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024. 2 is consideration of motions, the following motions. 1, report on the Kenyan delegation to the 151st Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, and related meetings. 2 is a second report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. 3, petition regarding the proposal to amend the Consumer Protection Act. 4 is report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the road and transport sector. 5 is a petition on management of hemophilia and other bleeding disorders. And 6, for the report on audited financial statements for the National Government Constituency Development Fund. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank members for their dedication throughout this very busy first half of the second part of the 5th session, which ends today evening. As we proceed on the short recess, I wish all members a wonderful rest period as they spend time with their families, discharge their parliamentary and constituency or county obligations, and rejuvenate ahead of the resumption of sittings at the end of July. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene again on Tuesday, 28th July 2026 to schedule business for the rest of the week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Musa Sirma. Before that, Musa Sirma, just hold. We have in the public gallery Warugara Primary School from Madhioya, Muranga. And in the speakers gallery, we have Kalalu Girls School from Laikipia East, Laikipia. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Go on, Musa Sirma.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to provision of Section 34(2), as read together with Section 6(1), 8(1), and 23(1) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act Cap 414A, I rise to inform the Honorable House and table a schedule showing the budget ceilings for each of the 290 constituencies for the financial year 2026-2027. Mr. Speaker, the Select Committee on the National Government Constituency Development Fund met with the Acting Chief Executive Officer of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF Board, and received comprehensive briefing on the allocation towards National Government Constituency Development Fund for the financial year 26-27. Mr. Speaker, the committee then considered the approved budget estimates for the financial year 26-27 and the ceilings in accordance with the provision of NGCDF Act Cap 414, which stipulates the mechanism for sharing the allocations. Mr. Speaker, Section 4.1 of the NGCDF Act provides that the annual allocation for the fund shall consist of an amount equivalent to not less than 2.5% of the national government share of revenue, as contained in the annual Division of Revenue Act approved by the National Assembly. Consequently, the National Government Constituency Development Fund has been allocated a total of 61,797,700,000 for the financial year 26-27, representing an increase of 5.1% from the current allocation of 58,797 million. Given the tight fiscal environment and modest increase in this high-performing fund, which has been felt for years, is a step in the right direction towards catalyzing equitable and transformative development intervention across the Republic. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Section 23(1) of the NGCDF Act, on an amount equivalent to 5%, being 3,089,885,000 has been set aside for the administration and operational expenses of the NGCDF board. Consequently, the total amount available for allocation among the 290 constituencies is 58,707,815,000. Mr. Speaker, the allocation of constituencies has been undertaken in accordance with the formula and criteria prescribed under Section 34 of the Act, whereby 75% of the amount is distributed equally among all constituencies. 25% is distributed based on the number of wards in each constituency. Accordingly, the equal allocation component amounts to 30,861,250, translating to an equal amount of 151 million per constituency of each constituency. The ward-based allocation component amounts to 14,676,953,750, which has been distributed according to the number of wards in each constituency. Mr. Speaker, the table is appended and attached, which I will table immediately. Mr. Speaker, further analysis will indicate that increase in allocation across all categories of constituencies ranges between 8.8 million and 11.3 million, representing a uniform increase of 5.1% compared to the previous financial year 2025-2026.
Going forward, the committee will push for higher increment given the development needs, the constituencies, and we urge the House to support this endeavor. Mr. Speaker, in compliance with Section 8.1 of the Act, an amount equivalent to 5% of the fund totaling 3,089,885,000 has been reserved as an emergency fund. Constituencies which are required to ring-fence these funds and shall not allocate them to projects unless circumstances warrant their utilization under the provision of the Act. Honorable Speaker, the committee also noted that pursuant to provision of Section 12.9 and 36.6 of NGCDF Act, appropriation in aid declared by constituencies forms part of the fund allocation. The board reported that 76 constituencies declared A amounting to 24,663,624, which has been incorporated into their respective constituency allocation. Of course, rental incomes and all that from the buildings you build. Having considered the submission of the NGCDF board and pursuant to Section 34.2 of National Government Constituency Development Fund Act 2015, I hereby table the schedule of budget ceilings to the 290 constituencies for the financial year 2026-2027 for consideration by this Honorable House. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity to remind and encourage my fellow honorable members to ensure timely submission of the proposed project for the financial year 2026 in compliance with the set deadline of 31st of July 2026. I urge all members to treat this matter with the seriousness it deserves, as adherence to the prescribed timelines is critical to the orderly planning and implementation of projects for the benefit of our respective constituency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hereby also add the board the board has prepared a QR code which members could use to monitor whatever is happening in their various constituencies in terms of payment, in terms of implemented projects, and all that. So I'll table also the QR code. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Musa Sirma. Honorable members, that is the end of that long statement time. I'll now ask the clerk to call the next order.
Order number 8, procedural motion, reduction of publication period for specified bills.
Majority Leader. I saw Majority Leader here. Can you search, capture, and bring him here? Majority Leader, procedural motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My apologies. I'm trying to serve too many masters.
Yes.
Had a small engagement at the back of your...
Jesus said you must serve them equally.
I am trying to do that. That is why I asked those ones to come behind the chamber there. Honorable Speaker, allow me to move that pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period for the following bills from 14 days to 13 days. One is a Kenya Intellectual Property Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2026, and two, the Tourism Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2026. Honorable Speaker, this is just a procedural motion, and without anticipating anything, Honorable Speaker, that's on the order paper. These bills are also lined up for first reading, and I want to ensure that then we can reduce the publication period to allow these bills to be published and to commence public participation during this recess period. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move, and I want to request the Honorable Harry Kombe, Mwalimu Harry Kombe, to second.
Yes, Mwalimu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do second.
Thank you. Sirma, take your seat. Rosa, take your seat. Honourable members, I propose the question at order number 8, which is that pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period of the following bills from 14 days to 13 days. 1. The Kenya Intellectual Property Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2026, and 2. The Tourism Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2026. Do I put the question? Yes. Honourable members, I now put the question at order number 8, which is that, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period of the following bills from 14 days to 13 days. 1. The Kenya Intellectual Property Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2026, and 2. The Tourism Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2026. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2022, second reading, question to be put.
Okay, honourable members, on their feet, take your seats. Take your seats, Selma. You only freeze when it's an ambush. But you can't be standing then purport to freeze before the speaker stands up. Honourable members, I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is that the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2022, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act to provide for a structured mechanism through which Parliament is able to receive reports from public officers on resolutions passed by Parliament and for connected purposes. Order number 10, the Kenya Intellectual Property Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to give effect to the provisions of Articles 11, 45, and 69 of the Constitution, to provide for the establishment of the Kenya Intellectual Property Authority, to provide for the patents, utility models, and industrial design, to provide for the copyrights and related rights, to regulate on anti-counterfeit measures and regulation of counterfeit goods, and for connected purposes. Order number 11, the Tourism Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Tourism Act and for connected purposes.
Clerk, I'll direct a slight reorganization, members of the order paper, to shift order number 12 so that we go to order number 13, Committee of the Whole, whereafter we can come back to order number 12. So call out order number 13.
Order number 13, Committee of the Whole House.
Hold your horses, members. Have some small communication to hold. Sergeant, hold. Take your seats, those on your feet. Honourable members, this is a communication on the outcome of harmonization of proposed amendments to the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2026. Honourable members, you recall that during the afternoon sitting of yesterday, Wednesday, 1st July 2026, I referred proposed amendments to the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026 to a winnowing process before the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning in accordance with Standing Order 131. I also directed the committee to undertake the exercise and update my office not later than 10 a.m. today, Thursday, 2nd July 2026, so as to guide on the next steps with regard to the processing of the bill in the Committee of the Whole House. Honorable members, I wish to inform the House that I have since received and approved for tabling the report of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on the harmonization of the proposed amendments to the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2026. I have already allowed the chairperson of the committee to table the report at order number 5 this afternoon. The report indicates that members who had proposed amendments to the bill, namely the Honorable Karole Omondi MP, the Honorable John Kagusha MP, the Honorable Dr. Wilberforce Ounda MP, the Honorable Mark Mwenje, CBS MP, the Honorable Justice Kemei MP, the Honorable Robert Mbui, CBS MP, and the Honorable Gitonga Mukunje MP participated in the winnowing process. The leader of the majority party also participated in that process. I wish to commend the committee for expertly shepherding the harmonization process. I also commend the leader of the majority party and the 7 members who had proposed amendments to the bill for appearing before the committee to prosecute their requests. Honorable members, I have confirmed that following consultations, all members yielded their proposals to be taken up by the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Notably, the member for Suba South, the Honorable Karole Omondi, MP, who had proposed the deletion of all clauses of the bill, which would have resulted to defeat of the bill in its entirety, found it appropriate to abandon that course. The import of his proposal would have amounted to throwing away the baby with the bathwater. Honorable members, given the consensus, I approved publication of a supplemental order paper for today's sitting to include the harmonized proposed amendments to the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2026. Honorable members, you will note that the proposed amendments are now in the name of the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. The amendments will therefore be prosecuted in the usual manner in the Committee of the Whole House under Order number 13. The House is accordingly guided, and I thank you. Honorable members, will you now be upstanding?
Honorable members, honorable members, we are now in the Committee of the Whole House for the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026. Members, this is a long bill, and I wish to request the chairperson of the committee to be very attentive. Members, be attentive so that we're able to move as fast as we can. So let's go ahead.
Clauses 3 and 4.
Members, I propose a question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill, and because the 2 of them have no amendments, I put the question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Will another opinion say aye? Will another opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 5.
Members, I propose a question that clause 5 be part of the bill, and this is an amendment by the chairperson of the Committee Finance and Planning.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 5 be amended as per the order paper. It's important to mention that this amendment is seeking to clarify what extraordinary shocks are as reference, and we have said that these extraordinary shocks must be extraordinary shocks as a result that will affect macroeconomic stability. So it's not just extraordinary shocks, so because we thought that could be subject to abuse. And it's good to appreciate, we also received amendments from Honorable Undo, Honorable Mwenje, Honorable Carol in this particular clause, which you agreed on last evening under the winnowing process as guided by the Speaker.
Propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the Finance and Planning Committee. Members, as this is negotiated and agreed, Honorable Undo, I hope what has been said is the position.
Thank you, Court, that we had a very fruitful engagement last evening, and I'm contented and accept the amendments as agreed as appeared in the order paper, and probably as we go on, we'll explain the gist or the reason why we agreed on those amendments. I go on record that I confirm this is the harmonized version.
That's so encouraging. Honorable Undo hardly gets contented. Chairman, you must have done a very good job on Honorable Undo. And well done to the committee. Members, I now put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed. Will ask another opinion say aye? Will ask another opinion say nay? Ayes have it. I now put the question, members, that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will ask another opinion say aye? Will ask another opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 6.
Members, I propose a question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 6 be amended as per the order paper. This Honorable Chair is going to provide for now National Assembly's role in the oversight of the other sources of revenue that will be transferred into the Sovereign Wealth Fund. It's good to appreciate that Honorable Mwenje, Honorable Mbuya, Honorable Karoli had amendments also to this clause that we agreed we carry on with the amendments. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Members, I propose a question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and National Planning. The Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, I must really commend the team for agreeing, because one of the issues of concern cutting across the bill was they were giving a lot of power to the Cabinet Secretary and leaving out the National Assembly. Okay. I really appreciate this amendment.
Great. Members, I now put the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed. Does another opinion say aye? Will another opinion say nay? Ayes have it. I now put the question, members, that clause 6 as amended be part of the bill. Will another opinion say aye? Will another opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 7.
Members, I propose a question that clause 7 be part of the bill, and because there's no amendment to it, I put the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. Will another opinion say aye? Will another opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 8.
Members, I propose a question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 8 be amended as per the order paper. Honorable Chair, this amendment is seeking to provide clarity on the total allocations to each component. As currently drafted, the bill gave the CS, the Cabinet Secretary, discretion to determine proportions into each of the three components. It's important to mention that Honorable Undo, Honorable Mwenje, Honorable Kokushi, Honorable Mbuya, and Honorable Karoli had amendments to this clause that we agreed on. Honorable Chair, just for a minute, I think it's very important to notify this House that we did prescribe now. You know that 30% of the amount that is being collected from in the holding account shall be transferred into the future generations component. So we are guaranteeing that of all that will come into the fund, Honorable Speaker, 30% of this must be reserved for future generations, so that our children's children can also found a wealth that we created for them, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Undo.
Honorable Chair, I just want to emphasize the point.
Honorable Undo, wait a minute. Members, I propose a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Honorable Undo.
I just want to join my colleague in putting this very clear, that we deliberated and agreed. There's a future generation, there's current generation. When is the future? The future starts now as we speak, and it will continue to come. In any case, whatever we're investing now, we're investing for the future. So generally, there is a very good harmony. There shouldn't be any chaos of
Thank you.
Thank you, I support.
I remember I propose a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. As one of the opinion say aye. As many opinion say nay. Ayes have it. Members, I now put the question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clauses 9 and 10.
Members, I put the question that clauses 9 and 10 be part of the bill. And because there's no amendment to the same, I put the question that clauses 8 and 9, 9 and 10 be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 11.
Members, I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 11 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to enhance prudent use of these resources by specifically requiring that their withdrawal must be subject to approval by the control of budget. In any withdrawal or transfer from the subvention component, this will further align with Article 228 of the Constitution. The bill further provided that transfer to the subvention component will cease when the component grows to 10 billion shillings. This, we felt, was too prescriptive, and we noted that the target could easily be surpassed. It's important to appreciate that we received good feedback and amendments that were proposed by Honorable Undo, Honorable Kogush, Honorable Karoli on this particular amendment. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
All members, I propose a question that clause 11 be amended as proposed. Duro Makali Mulu.
Yeah, Honorable Chairman, another good amendment. Honorable Chairman, it's important that any money being withdrawn from the our consolidated fund should be approved by the control of budget for purpose of monitoring the expenditure, Honorable Speaker. So this is another good one. And I also like the idea of removing the 10 billion because that was quite also restrictive.
Thank you. All members, I put the question now that clause 11 be amended as proposed. Will as another opinion say aye? As another opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Members, I now put the question that clause 11 as amended be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye? As many the court opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 12.
All members, I propose the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 12 be amended as per the order paper. Honorable Chair, again, we received a lot of feedback on this particular clause from Honorable Undo, Honorable Justice Kimei, and Honorable Karoli. This amendment, as proposed in the order paper, is seeking to clarify that the strategic infrastructure investment component will not finance projects similar to those that are being financed by the National Infrastructure Fund Act, as was approved just a few weeks by this House. Honorable Chair, thank you.
Members, I propose a question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the Chair. The Honorable Justice.
Chair, I want to confirm that as much as I had an amendment to this clause, the position taken by the Finance Committee Chair, I wholly agree with it. And I want to also join my colleagues to say the winnowing process that we went through yesterday, we wish we could be going through such a process in all other committees whenever bills are involved. They reduce the time of lawmaking and they bring about, agreement, consensus whenever a bill is being done. Honorable Professor Undo, Honorable and the other colleagues who were there yesterday, we really agree with what the committee did. Much appreciated. Chair.
Thank you. Members, I now put the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question, members, that clause 12 was amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 13.
Members, I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Because there's no amendment to it, I put the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. As another opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 14.
Members, I propose the question. I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 14 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to correct a clerical error by now referencing the correct component being the strategic infrastructure investment component. I'm very, very proud, Honorable Chair, saying correct a clerical error by now referencing. Otherwise, I would have found it very difficult to pronounce those particular R's and L's. This amendment is seeking to enhance prudent use of these resources by specifically requiring the approval again by control of budget in any of the withdrawals. This is in line with Article 228 of our Constitution. And further, the amendment is seeking to make it clear that instead of monies for projects being transferred to the consolidated fund for remission to the relevant agencies carrying out the projects, they should now be remitted directly from the component to the relevant agencies. We note that the first charge in the consolidated funds is servicing of public debt, and so for efficiency in carrying out of projects, these monies now will be paid directly to the agencies that will be implementing this particular project. It's important to appreciate that Honorable Undo, Honorable Kogusha, Honorable Karoli had proposed amendments for this clause, which after winning exercise yesterday, we all agreed upon. Thank you.
Thank you, members. I propose a question that clause 14 be amended as proposed. The Honorable Undo and Honorable Makali, now that you've agreed, I suggest that some of them you allow us to just proceed, unless you want to add something. The Honorable Makali.
Yeah, you know, Honorable Chairman, clause 14A talks about the issue of the control of budget. But now when you come to C, B talks about control of budget. I was just seeking clarification whether a central bank account, because this will be the holding account, whether it will be subject to the control of budget. We need to have that reassurance, Mr. Chairman, because I don't think legally the control of budget has access to an holding account in the Central Bank of Kenya.
Honorable Chair, go ahead.
So it's important also to acknowledge, Honorable Chair, Article 228 of our Constitution only gives a mandate of withdrawal of funds from the consolidated funds to be subject to approval by COB. By now providing expressly here that withdrawals for this particular holding account, then it must also be approved by COB, then that provision is therefore necessary. Otherwise, without making that provision expressly in the sovereign wealth fund law, then that fund will not be subject to seeking withdrawal from the COB.
All members, I think this makes a lot of sense. I therefore put the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed. As another opinion say aye. Aye. As when the opinion say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question, members, that clause 14 as amended be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. Aye. As when the opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 15.
Members, I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 15 be amended as per the other paper. There's amendment seeking to ensure that infrastructure investments under the future generations component are carried out to support future generations.
Members,
I beg to move, Honorable Chair.
I propose the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed. I think this is very straightforward. Members, I have therefore put the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed. As another opinion say aye. Aye. As many that could opinion say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 15 as amended be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. As many other could opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 16.
Remember, as clause 16, I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Because there's no amendment, I put the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. As many other opinion say aye. Aye. As many other could opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 17.
I propose the question, members, that clause 17 be part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 17 be amended as per the order paper. This again is going to provide clarity that and authority that any withdrawals from the subvention component fund must also be subject to approval by the control of budget. And we had amendments proposed by Honorable Undo, Honorable Kogusha, Honorable Karoli, and Honorable Mukonji on this particular clause, which we agreed upon winnowing. Thank you.
Members, I propose the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed by the Chair, Finance and Planning Committee. I put the question, Honorable Mukonji.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. And I want first to congratulate the Chair of Finance for getting a better route to solve the issue of amendments through having a sitting as a committee with the members of, having these amendments. Honorable Chair, one of the biggest challenge that I was seeing in this bill is the issue of oversight. Honorable Chair, we were looking at how to make this House the controller of budget and everybody that is supposed to know how these monies are being spent, Honorable Chair, to exactly know whether they can be misused. And Honorable Chair, we fully agreed with the committee and its amendment that, Honorable Chair, all withdrawals of these monies must be approved by the controller of budget. So, Honorable Chair, we don't move very far away from oversight. Honorable Chair.
Thank you.
Thank
Members, I therefore put the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as those of opinion say nay? Ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 17 as amended be part of the bill. Will as another opinion say aye? Those of the contrary opinion say nay. Ayes have it. Order. The Honorable
Clauses 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26.
Members, I propose a question that clauses 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 be part of the bill. And because there have no amendments to them, I now put the question that clauses 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. As many of the opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 27.
Members, I propose the question that clause 27 be part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 27 be amended as the paper. This amendment is seeking to ensure that the fund investment policies that are developed by the board must be approved by Cabinet and the National Assembly, so that we make sure that National Assembly has proper oversight, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chairperson on this particular fund. It's important to appreciate that the Honorable Mwenje, the Honorable Leader of Minority, Honorable Mbui, had proposed amendment to this particular clause, which we agreed upon winnowing.
Members, I propose a question that clause 27 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning Committee. The Honorable Mwenje, is that you? Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me just take this opportunity to support this amendment and also thank the Finance Chair for yesterday when we did the winnowing, we were able to agree on quite a number of these clauses, and this was one of them. So thank you, Honorable
Members, I put the question, therefore, that clause 27 be amended as proposed. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question, members, that clause 27 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 28.
Members, I propose the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. And because it's an amendment, I put the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 29.
Honourable members, I propose the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. Chair. Clause 29 be part of the bill. Go ahead.
So, Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 29 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to provide for an opportunity for the youth in serving as chairperson or members of the board by reducing the number of years served in senior management leadership positions from 10 years to 5 years. So, Honorable Chairperson, we calculated that if we carry this amendment, that for anyone to serve as a chairperson or a member of the board, if you needed 10 years of continuous management experience, then that means you may not have anybody there who is anywhere between 30 and 40 years of age. That means it's only be those people that are 50 years and above that will only get a chance to serve the board. So by reducing this number of years from 10 to 5, then that is going to give an opportunity to young people across the country to be able also to serve as a chairpersons or members of the board.
Members, I propose the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance Planning Committee. Members, I put the question. Honorable Meli, you want to say something on this?
Thank you, Chair. I want to commend the Chair and the committee because the youth actually are put into consideration, and this bill, as its sovereign wealth fund and for generations, it will actually bring them on board and be part of the decision making. I support that.
Honorable Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chair had also proposed amendment on that one, and mine was about the qualification, the academic qualifications. I noticed that a lot of times we are keen on putting a person with a degree in law, in economics, in accounting, in finance matters, and I was even concerned, might it be to do with the leadership of the House over the last few years? Because we've had CPAKs running this House, both in the majority and minority side. And I'd propose that maybe we could have people with a degree in education, in engineering, and other courses. But I was convinced that the education people, those ones that are teachers, are already qualified by virtue of the fact that they are the ones who teach economics and all these other things. So I dropped my amendment. Thank you, Chairman.
Where do you belong, sir?
Sorry?
Where do you belong, sir?
Sorry?
Where do you belong yourself?
Education.
Okay. Teachers, all and the teachers, everything. Honorable members, I now put the question, members, that clause 29 be amended as proposed. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question, members, that clause 29 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clauses 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34.
All members, I propose the question that clauses 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 33, and 34 be part of the bill. I now put the question, members, because there's no amendment, that clauses 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34 be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 35.
Members, I propose the question that clause 35 is part of the bill. Chair, clause 35.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 35 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment seeking to provide clarity that the bachelor's degree has to be relevant to the field, to the fund management for a person to be qualified to be appointed as a CEO. Further, this amendment seeking to clarify that the Salaries and Remuneration Commission shall advise the Cabinet Secretary on the terms and conditions of the CEO, which is consistent with Article 234B of the Constitution. Honorable Chairperson, on clause 29, just to allay the leader of minorities' fears, the provision there reads that someone who holds a degree in economics, finance, accounting, law, banking, or any other, or other relevant field from a university recognized in Kenya. So I want to confirm that even education is a relevant field that is recognized in Kenya, Honorable Speaker.
All members, I propose a question that clause 35 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning. I put the question, members, that clause 35 be amended as proposed. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. And I put the question, members, that clause 35 as amended be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. As those opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 36.
Members, I propose the question that clause 36 is part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 36 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to provide clarity of the grounds of removal from the office of the Chief Executive Officer.
Members, I propose the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning. I put the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed. As another opinion say aye. As those opinions say nay. Ayes have it. And I put the question that clause 36 as amended be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. Those opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 37.
Members, I propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 37 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to clarify on the role of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission in advising the board on the terms and conditions of the staff and in the board. And this Honorable Chairperson is consistent with Article 230B4 of our Constitution.
Members, I propose the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning. I put the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed. Will as another opinion say aye. And those of the opinion say nay. Ayes have it. And I put the question that clause 37 as amended be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. Those of the opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clauses 38 and 39.
Members, I propose the question that clauses 38 and 39 be part of the bill. There being no amendments to them, I now put the question that clauses 38 and 39 be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. As many of the opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 40.
Members, I propose the question that clause 40 be part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 40 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to provide clarity on the penalty provision, which is consistent with drafting practice and meaning. Honorable Chairperson, it's important to mention that clause 43 sets out a very strict penalty. A person who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offence is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or imprisonment not exceeding 2 years. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move.
All members, I propose a question that clause 40 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning. I now put the question that clause 40 be amended as proposed. As another opinion say aye. As many of the conclusions say nay. I now put the question members that clause 40 as amended be part of the bill. I'll take that again. Members, I now put the question that clause 40 be amended as proposed. Will as another opinion say aye? Those of the conclusion say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question members that clause 40 as amended be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye? As those of the conclusion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clauses 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45.
Members, I propose a question that clauses 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45 be part of the bill. And there are big amendments to them. I now put the question that clauses 41, 42, 43, 41, and 45 be part of the bill. As many of the opinions say aye, as many of the opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 46.
Members, I propose the question that clause 46 be part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 46 be amended as for the other paper. This amendment is seeking to clarify and especially expressly prohibit against securitization or using the future generations component as collateral for borrowing by a government entity.
Members, I propose the question that clause 46 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning. The Honorable Mukunji.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. This was a very important amendment, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, because we know now this country has gotten a new way of borrowing. I don't want to say hideously, but Honorable Speaker, we have to actually make sure that this fund is well is put in a way that it cannot one day disappear after it has been securitized. Honorable Speaker, I'm very happy with the committee in the agreement of this amendment. Honorable Speaker, we should do the same to a number of other funds that have been passed by this House to ensure a rogue regime cannot come and clear them out, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want to support this particular amendment in this clause because it's very important for us to have a specific component of ensuring that we are safeguarding the future generation component. So I applaud it and I do support it. Thank you.
And Honorable Ruto.
Chair, thank you so much. I also want to support this. It's a good move to ensure that the spirit of this particular bill, which seeks to utilize our natural resources with a definite timing in terms of depletion for the purpose of now and the purpose of tomorrow. Nonetheless, to say, again, it's good to remind my good friend Mogunji. From his presentation, he seemed to be attacking that there is a tendency of securitizing. I think you need to understand the implication and the context about securitization. It's not a question of securitizing every money. This particular bill is seeking to divine the natural resources that we are endowed with and the utilization of it for the purpose of giving services and opportunities for now, tomorrow, and in future. And there is no way this money can be securitized for other purposes.
Thank you. Members, I now put the question that clause 46, the amendment as proposed. As many other opinions say aye, as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question, members, that clause 46 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye, those of the opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clauses 47 and 48.
Members, I propose the question that clauses 47 and 48 be part of the bill, and there will be an amendment to them. I put the question that clauses 47 and 48 be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye, or the opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 49.
Members, I propose the question that clause 49 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 49 be amended as per the order paper. This particular amendment is clerical as it just seeks to align with the title under paragraph 6, which reads investment fund manager and not investment manager. Honorable Kagushia and Honorable Karori had the similar amendment which he carried on after winnowing.
Members, I propose the question that clause 49 be amended as proposed. These clerical members, I put the question that clause 49 be amended as proposed. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. And now put the question that clause 49 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many other opinions say aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 50.
Members, I propose the question that clause 50 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I now put the question that clause 50 be part of the bill. As many of the opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 51.
Members, I propose the question that clause 51 be part of the bill. Mover. Clause 51, mover.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 51 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to align the period of submitting the financial statements with the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act from 6 months to 3 months, and that the financial statement shall be consolidated for each of the components.
Members, I propose a question that clause 51 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning. I now put the question, members, that clause 51 be amended as proposed. As another opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Members, I now put the question that clause 51 as amended be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 52.
Members, I propose the question that clause 52 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I put the question that clause 52 be part of the bill. As another opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 53.
Members, I propose the question that clause 53 be part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 53 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to enhance details of the report that is submitted by the board to include details of all the fees paid to investment fund managers and any other service providers in order to safeguard the fund. Honorable Chair, we sought this particular amendment because there has been a risk of fees being paid that are exaggerated, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, then that will erode the purpose of the fund. So by restricting on this and making sure that the details of the fees paid and commissions paid must be reflected in the financial statements is very progressive.
Members, I propose the question that clause 53 be amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 53 be amended as proposed. Will as many other opinions say aye? Will as many of those opinions say nay? Ayes have it. And now put the question, members, that clause 53 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many of the opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 54.
Members, I propose the question that clause 54 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I put the question that clause 54 be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many of the opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 55.
Members, I propose the question that clause 55 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 56 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to increase the period to which
it's
the
clause 55.
Oh, sorry, 55. So I beg to move that clause 55 be amended as per the order paper. Honorable Chairperson, this amendment is seeking to align the penalty provision to move away from mandatory minimum sentencing, while at the same time enhancing the penalty in order to safeguard the fund and ensure there is compliance with the Act, Honorable Chair.
Members, I propose the question that clause 55 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning. There being no debate, I put the question that clause 55 be amended as proposed. As another opinion say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. And now put the question that clause 55 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 56.
Members, I propose the question that clause 56 be part of the bill.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 56 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to increase the period to which the board shall submit a report to the fund, the report of the fund to the National Treasury for transmission to the Auditor General and subsequently to the National Assembly from 1 month to 3 months before the general election. This is, Honorable Chair, to cater for a period within which the National Assembly goes sine die.
Members, I propose the question that clause 56 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning. Members, I put the question that clause 56 be amended as proposed. As another opinion say aye. As many of the opinions say nay. Ayes have it. And now put the question, members, that clause 56 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many of the opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clauses 57, 58, and 59.
Members, I propose the question that clauses 57, 58, and 59 of the bill be part of the bill. There being no amendments, I put the question that clauses 57, 58, and 59 be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 60.
Members, I propose a question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
So, Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 6 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to provide for public officers on secondment to the fund to be interim managers and staff of the fund. This will ensure that the Act is implemented without delay, but also with less costs by utilizing public officers on secondment. The limited period seeks also to ensure that there is no abuse of unnecessary extending the period of the interim manager and staff during the transition period. Further, the amendment is seeking to provide clarity on the terms and the conditions of interim manager and staff. Honorable Chairperson, it's good to appreciate that the Honorable Undo, Honorable Kagushi, and Honorable Karoli had amendments to this particular clause, which we agreed on upon renewing.
Members, I propose the question, therefore, that clause 60 be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and National Planning. Honorable Undo.
Chair, in my amendment, I had sought a shorter period of 3 months, but understanding the intricacies in the appointment of directors, I accept. The idea is to avoid long stay without an interim manager and use third parties. That's why we had said it must be a serving state officer so that we minimize the cost. And I do hope and pray that on secondment, they will not come and ask, called the duty allowances that will erode the value of the fund. Thank you, I support.
Members, I now put the question that clause 6 to be amended as proposed. As many other opinions say aye, and as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 60 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye, as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 61.
Honourable members, I propose the question that clause 61 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I now put the question that clause 61 be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye, as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
First schedule.
Members, I propose the question that the first schedule be the first schedule of the bill. There being no amendment, I put the question that the first schedule be the first schedule of the bill. As many other opinions say aye, those opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Second schedule.
Members, I propose the question that the second schedule be the second schedule of the bill. And there being no amendment to the schedule, I now put the question that the second schedule be the second schedule of the bill. As many other opinions say aye, as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Third schedule.
All members, I propose the question that the third schedule be part of the bill. Honorable Chair, you have an amendment to the third schedule of the bill.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the third schedule be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to provide a capping to the amount paid to an investment fund manager to 2% of the investment in the qualifying instrument. This is to ensure that there is prudent utilization of the funds.
Members, I propose a question that the third schedule of the bill be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and National Planning. I now put the question that the third schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair. As many other opinions say aye, as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. I now put the question, members, that the third schedule as amended be the third schedule of the bill. Will as many other opinions say aye, will as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Fourth schedule.
Members, I propose the question that the fourth schedule be the fourth schedule of the bill. Chair, you have an amendment.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the fourth schedule be amended as per the order paper. This is a consequential amendment that is seeking now to clarify how the royalties shall be paid into the sovereign wealth fund by amending section 186 of the Mining Act.
Members, I propose the question that the fourth schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair of Finance and Planning Committee. I now put the question that the fourth schedule be amended as proposed. As many other opinions say aye, as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. Members, I now propose the question, put the question that the fourth schedule as amended be the fourth schedule of the bill. As many other opinions say aye, as many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 2.
Honourable members, I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Honourable Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 2 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is seeking to clarify that the national government's share in minerals and petroleum royalties is the one that's being referred to the Sovereign Wealth Fund. This amendment the amendment on extraordinary shocks is to also provide clarity that these extraordinary shocks can only be the shocks as that have been affected by macroeconomic stability. It's also important to mention, Honorable Chair, that the Honorable Undo, the Honorable Mwenje, Honorable Mukunji, and Honorable Karoli had amendments to this particular clause.
Honorable, I propose a question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Honorable Undo.
As we come to the tail end, let me also commend the team for being understanding and caring about the welfare of the people of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, under the definition of extraordinary shocks, the way it was defined in the bill, as currently was weird, too long and too much, and we applied our minds. Quite a number of us who sat in that meeting yesterday have attended macroeconomic classes, lectures, several units. So we understand what we are talking about, and we want to ask those who have not attended, just agree with us, and let's move on. Thank you.
Members, I now put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. Members, I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many of the opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Title.
Members, I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. And there being no amendment, I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Members, I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. And there being no amendment, I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. As many other opinions say aye. As many other opinions say nay. Ayes have it. Members, that marks the end of the committee of the whole House, and thank you for your attention and patience. I now, and the beginning of the new Kenya, where winnowing becomes the order of the day, and members agree. Honorable members will agree with you that towards the tail end of Parliament, this often works and works very well for all of us. I now call upon the mover of the bill to move the same for reporting.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration on the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Members, I now put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many of the opinions say aye. Aye. As many of the opinions say nay. Ayes have it.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman.
The Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 2026, and approved the same with amendments.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said reports, and also request the Honorable Naomi Wako to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question?
Yes.
Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026, be now read a third time. Honorable Speaker, as I request the Honorable Peter Kaluma to second, allow me, Honorable Speaker, to also take this opportunity to thank the members, first those who contributed during the debate in second reading, and more importantly, the members of the Finance and National Planning, including the Honorable Peter Opondo Kaluma, and many other members, including CPA Ruto, the one and only chairperson of that committee who took us through a very rigorous winnowing process last night. Honorable Speaker, may I report to you that the communication you did, we closed our meeting at slightly past 9 p.m. under the very able leadership and chairmanship of Honorable Kimani Kuria, the member for Molo. And Honorable Speaker, may I also take this opportunity to thank all the members, Honorable Oundo, Honorable Mukunji, Honorable Karoli Omondi, the leader, deputy leader of minority, Honorable Robert Mbui, the Honorable Mwenje, our deputy minority whip, the Honorable Makali Mulu, and Honorable Speaker, there are people who are soliciting for a mention.
Even Gloria proposed amendments.
But I am only mentioning the members who were in that winnowing process. And Honorable Speaker, let me say that winnowing process last night shepherded us through a new way of doing things. Not that winnowing is a new way in the House, but the give and take process that we have to go through in the legislative processes. And more importantly, Honorable Speaker, we came to an agreement during that process that what we were doing, we were legislating for posterity. We were not legislating for our political factions, not for our political parties, and even those in the opposition agreed that what we are doing was for the best interest of the people of Kenya. And I must thank all those members, and that's why I made particular mention of those members, because we put aside our political differences to legislate for our great nation. Honorable Speaker, let me say that in December last year, on the 15th of December, the cabinet approved a cabinet memo that forwarded these two bills, or spoke about the establishment of these two funds, the National Infrastructure Fund and the Sovereign Wealth Fund. And in that memo, Honorable Speaker, you remember the cabinet communique saying that these two funds would actually serve as the backbone of the government's plan to transition Kenya into a first world economy. And not just transition Kenya into a first world economy, but also doing it through a sustainable investment-led growth model that would drive us away from the old ways of either overburdening Kenyans with taxation or over-reliance on public debt. Honorable Speaker, this is a very momentous time for our country. The passage of this bill signifies that transition from a time where we over-relied on public debt, relied on burdening Kenyans with taxation, to an investment-led growth. And the establishment of these two funds, Honorable Speaker, will now properly set our nation onto the path of transitioning our nation from a third world or a growing middle income economy into a first world nation, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, to the naysayers, let me say this, Honorable Speaker. When we crafted our manifesto in 2022, and I know many people have accused President William Ruto of telling lies, when President William Ruto said that and reaffirmed that we shall implement the Kenya Kwanza manifesto page by page, sentence by sentence, from comma to full stop, and implement this manifesto entirely. The National Infrastructure Fund, the Sovereign Wealth Fund were part of that manifesto. The transition from NHIF to universal health coverage under SHA was part of that manifesto. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, our passage of this bill today is further implementation of the manifesto, which, Honorable Speaker, we are fortunate that you are part of crafting that manifesto. And you remember the long nights that we spent in Karen, then the Deputy President's office, official residence, crafting this manifesto, even coming up with this sovereign wealth
You
fund.
remember there's a day we sat for 25 hours.
Yes.
Yes.
And these are things, Honorable Speaker, that Kenyans may never know. But they have not come by accident. They are not opportunistic bills that are just finding their way into Parliament. They are well thought through processes that would augment our nation and move its economy to a first world economy, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, I must thank even those who are in the executive who have made sure that we are indeed implementing our manifesto as we sold it to the people of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, today we can proudly say that when in December 2025, that communique from the cabinet said that these two funds, once established, will set us on the motion of transitioning us to a first world nation and moving us towards an investment-led growth away from the public debt-ridden and taxation burdens that are being put on Kenyans over the years. It sounded like it's neuroscience, Honorable Speaker. You remember, towards the end of the year, when the President spoke during the State of the Nation address, he spoke of an ambitious 5 trillion investment-led growth of moving our country forward. And many people thought it was just talk. And he said that for every shilling that we generate, we can leverage on that and raise another 10 shillings. And he said that within the next few months, we shall be disposing of shares in Safaricom, in Kenya Pipeline, and that will guarantee us the first 3 trillion shillings. Honorable Speaker, I am so proud today, as a leader in this country, that we have seen that come to fruition. Yesterday, Honorable Speaker, or the day before, if I am not wrong, the money for the Safaricom sale, 350 billion shillings, together with the sale of Kenya Pipeline, the 250 billion or so shillings from Safaricom and the 106 or so billion shillings is now securely in the National Infrastructure Fund. That gives us the capital to now raise a further 3 trillion shillings so that the investment-led growth that was seen as just talk becomes a reality, Honorable Speaker. The challenge is upon us as leaders that even as we legislate, and that's why I commended the members who sat with us throughout the night, last night, under the able chairmanship of Kimani Kuria. Honorable Speaker, I noted that that is the first departmental committee meeting I have attended in the last 3 years. And Kimani Kuria told me he was very proud that the first departmental committee meeting I attend is under his chairmanship. But of course, when you have such a brilliant chair, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Undo has just commented here that there was a macroeconomic class last night, and he was fortunate, as much as a very good teacher, to also learn a few things on extraordinary shocks to economies around the world. But Honorable Speaker, let me not be too wordy, but I was saying I am very proud of this 13th National Assembly. Very proud of all the members of this House. That notwithstanding the political grandstanding we have out there, we can come together and legislate on a matter that touches on the lives of each and every Kenyan. Not now, Honorable Speaker, because this Sovereign National Wealth Fund, is speaking to the current and future generations. That is why we have a foreign, sorry, not a foreign, in this Sovereign Wealth Fund, that is why we have a future fund that speaks to future generations, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, let me say that our history or our space in the history of this nation is very secure, especially with the establishment of these two funds. And I want to ask all of us that even as we pass this bill, that the onus again is on us to ensure that the funds that we have set up, we offer proper and meaningful oversight so that all these funds go to secure the future of our nation and transition us to that first world status that we have all envisioned. But we envisioned that first world status, Honorable Speaker, for many years since independence. But we were overtaken by others because we were afraid of doing the right thing. I must thank President William Ruto because he has not been afraid of the insults. He has been bold and courageous to do what is right. And I must thank the many members of parliament in this house. And I say in this house, Honorable Speaker, because it is only in this house you find courageous leaders who will opt to do the right thing and not what is popular, necessarily popular. And I've said here before, Honorable Speaker, it is not everything that you find is popular is right. That today we are doing what is right. It may not be popular, but it is the right thing to do for our country, and our place is secure in the history of our nation. I am very proud of this assembly, even as we go on recess today, Honorable Speaker. We have truly earned that recess, truly. And I will have a very restful recess these 3 weeks, Honorable Speaker, even as we do other things for our constituents. And even as I encourage others, those out there who are very fond of speaking, saying too many things, and we have challenged them always, Honorable Speaker, offer alternative solutions to the country. I am glad that as members of parliament, we have kept away from the noise out there. And even those who have picked the noise out there and brought it to the house, in shame, now they have had to apologize to the Kenyan people. I want to encourage them to continue sticking to what is true and honest to the people of Kenya, because you never need to apologize to anyone if you stick to the truth. But if you just pick things here and there to excite people and try and generate bonga points politically, you will not cease from apologizing. We will see you come over time and time again to apologize with or without your classroom notes. Honorable Speaker, I move, and I want to request that very able member of the Finance and National Planning Committee, Peter Kaluma Opondo, who ably guided us, especially on clause 5(2)(b) and clause 12, to see bigger things than many would have seen. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to start by thanking you for leading this House through history. And Honorable Speaker, you've sat in this House this afternoon from 2:30 to this time because of the monumental nature of the business we are transacting. Honorable Speaker, I attended with you the assent into law by the President of the Infrastructure Fund Act now. And Honorable Speaker, I still remember very clearly what His Excellency President William Ruto did indicate. That when he writes his autobiography, if I were to quote honorable members, he will remember the 13th Parliament as a parliament which has been greatly impactful in terms of giving this nation direction. And he said we will get some space there as parliament. And Honorable Speaker, I cannot agree more. Honorable Speaker, when you privileged me to preside over the second reading and general debate on this bill, before I proposed the question, honorable members, you remember, indicated that it appeared to me that history was beckoning at the 13th Parliament. And I did ask the question whether we were ready to grasp and to capture it. And Honorable Speaker, I was making that question, proposing the question and making that statement after I had the majority leader move and after I had our very sharp, gifted chairman of the committee in charge of finance and national planning, my brother, the Honorable Kuria Kimani, elaborate on the purposes of this law. And listening to them and having gone through the bill, I beckoned upon this House to grasp their date with their destiny. Honorable Speaker, if there is something I would remember my role in the House for, and my best day in this House for, it is the debate which surrounded this bill. And I asked Kenyans to review the answer, review the videos. I was shocked at how passionate the leadership of this House, the representatives of the people here, are concerned about the country. Honorable Speaker, what does this bill do? in three things. This is how we have met destiny. This is how we have met history. Honorable Speaker, we were with you here when COVID struck. And before that, nobody in Kenya, least of all us, ever imagined, Honorable Speaker, time would come when we would all be locked in our houses and in our rooms, unable to interact with anybody. And the economy would be shut down completely. Honorable Speaker, just a short while ago, we had the Iran-Israel situation, and the Strait of Hormuz got blocked. And you know the fluctuations in oil prices, and the country not knowing how we would sustain the supply chain, more so in respect of fuel and other necessary goods. Honorable Speaker, through this law, we have provided a buffer to the whole nation against extraordinary shocks. And Honorable Speaker, how beautiful is it? And how beautiful can it be that it fell on us as the 13th Parliament, and we are the one doing so? Honorable Speaker, our Constitution speaks to the current generation and future generation a need for equity between them in the manner we apply and use the wealth which come across our time. Honorable Speaker, this law, once assented to by the President, answers that issue of intergenerational equity. And it does not just do so, Honorable Speaker. We are also saying that the current generation is going to provide a link by deliberate strategic infrastructure investment leading into that future to enable them then have a fund that they can move with and a stable country they can be happy about. I don't want to say much, Honorable Speaker, but allow me for once to thank His Excellency President Ruto for the bold and visionary leadership he's given this country. Honorable Speaker, I've always said that it appears to me, doing a historical analysis of all our presidents since independence, that the things which have been deemed impossible for the country, but which are very necessary, it has taken President Ruto to face them boldly, not caring about the consequences that may be to people whose vision is short, to people who don't see beyond the temporal needs of the politics of the time. And he's doing very well. Let me thank President Ruto for his vision around the Infrastructure Act now, for his vision around this sovereign wealth bill, which hopefully, Honorable Speaker, I hope he'll be signing. And I would pray, Honorable Speaker, that if you were to honor the House, this one would have been assented to by His Excellency the President, with even a bigger member of members of Parliament here to witness this meeting with our destiny. Honorable Speaker, let me thank the Majority Leader for leadership of the House after you. Let me thank the Chair of the Committee. Let me even thank the members of the House, especially those ones we interacted with up to very late in the night when the House has adjourned, processing this thing in unison. Honorable Mukunji, Honorable everybody. And I was so gratified that when you talk about the interest of the nation, there is some unique objectivity and realization that truly comes that beyond our temporal political posturing, we can do something that is good for the country. And that is why, Honorable Speaker, when we had the finance bill situation from 2024 to throughout, Honorable Speaker, the Majority Leader remembers this House as a House which is always standing with what is right for the nation, not necessarily what is political. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, eternally for good leadership of the House and for midwifing, these historical moments we have within the 13th Parliament. And without much ado, Honorable Speaker, allow me therefore to second.
Thank you, honorable members. This is not debate time. We have gone over that. Allow me to go to the next level. But as I do that, honorable members, taking cue with what the Majority Leader said, it takes men and women of courage to do great things. And in doing so, remember the words of Winston Churchill, that you'll never finish your journey if you stop to throw stones at every barking dog. Focus on your journey, and if we have to reform this country, we will do so by men and women of courage. the way I have seen this house. I've been in this house since 1992. I can say without any fear of contradiction that this is a courageous house. And this is a house that is committed to changing this country. It is not driven by convenience, it's driven by doing what is right. Keep it up. Honourable members, I now propose the question, which is that the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026, be now read a third time. Yes, Ondo, you've spoken more than 10 times on this bill, but make your comment.
Yeah, because Honorable Speaker, people of Funyula sent me to come here and legislate on behalf of people of Funyula and the people of Kenya generally. And Honorable Speaker, my colleagues will bear with me. I'm a very serious legislator, and such a monumental bill cannot go without a comment coming from the great man from Samia. Honorable Speaker, we stand here today actualizing some of the innovative resource-raising measures that have been employed elsewhere. As I said yesterday, and I continue to say, we have a history of having very good bills, very good ideas. But, Honorable Speaker, at the end of the day, we botch them at implementation. We have had so many other grand ideas that have ended up being a sleaze fund, being a scam, and generally embarrassing the country and causing untold suffering. I just hope and pray that those who are going to be charged with running this fund, running the National Infrastructure Fund, are going to be women and men of integrity, who value the interests of the people of Kenya more than lining their pockets, more than simple free-balls that have come as a result of this matter. Honorable Speaker, let me also laud the new spirit that is coming to emanate now. Probably the pressure outside there is forcing us now to start thinking clearly that it's better to come together and not keep on chest-thumping, being antagonistic. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, allow me to make two statements. The 13th Parliament, yes, we'll go into the history that it has passed some very tough laws that have sometimes inflicted pain on the ordinary mwananchi in this country. That we cannot run away from it. Honorable Speaker, as we probably one day when we come to an end, the simple question we'll ask ourselves, what has been the change of welfare of the common mwananchi? What has been the change in per capita income of the common mwananchi? What has been the change in poverty incidences during this term of the 13th Parliament? Those are the only verifiable, empirically driven measures of the performance of the Parliament. Finally, let me also conclude by thanking my friend, Honorable Kaluma. He reminds me of a story, and I think he has always said so. You don't have to struggle to vote for the government. Once the government is there, join the government and become happy. I wish I could have that courage and that strength. I would also be singing the same song. Others, Honorable Speaker, House, Honorable Kimani Kimani of Molo, Majority Leader, thanks for listening. Thanks also for that robust exchange yesterday. It rekindled my minds in my undergraduate. It reminded me when I was teaching at the university, and I was trying to explain to Honorable Kalori Omondi that in investment appraisal, when we talk about leverage, we are not talking about lien. It's about the mix between capital, capital and debt. Now, those are now macroeconomics that we had a very nice time. But otherwise, thanks you very much, Honorable Kaluma. I think I need to learn some lessons from you. You never know. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't understand finance much, and I did contribute to this bill in the second reading. Mr. Speaker, what I know and what I understood, that this bill is going to make a great contribution in saving us from debt. And I think that is important. Mr. Speaker, I also know that many people are afraid that when you create funds because of corruption, it will be misused. But I end up by saying we cannot live in fear. We handle corruption and do what we think is right. They say in my place that if there's a chicken thief in the village doesn't stop keeping chicken. You just look for the thief, catch the thief, and keep the kitchen. I support.
Yes, Kimani?
So, Honorable Speaker, I know I've spoken to this matter, but I wanted to specifically thank you, Honorable Speaker, because of your leadership. And what you ordered us yesterday to do for winnowing, we were able to have a very conductive meeting yesterday, running up to late in the evening. We were also able to talk to and to listen to each other on these particular matters. And Honorable Speaker, that's when even the members realized that even most of the amendments that they were proposing to make, we already carried those amendments in our committee report. So I think this also helped us reduce the exchanges that we see, for example, at the Honorable Speaker. And of course, to also thank my leader, the leader of Majority Party, for again joining us and all the great ideas that he brought to the harmonization of all this, Honorable Speaker. But lastly, Honorable Speaker, as we talked about political comradeship and people trying to overnight becoming clever, Honorable Speaker, I enjoyed contributions on this bill from many members who had read clauses on this bill, Honorable Speaker. But yesterday evening, we were treated to economic hubris, of some people who just come and just throw economic terms here and there, without any reference to anywhere in the bill, Honorable Speaker. And I think Kenyans should now watch very closely how members contribute to this particular piece of legislation, not just talking big words, what in economics we call economic arrogance or economic hubris, or need to say nothing for the entire conversation, Honorable Speaker, just to appear to the gallery that you are a smart economics. But now, far from it, from the content, Honorable Speaker, you raise a zero content. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I thank all the members that supported these particular amendments and for the great meeting we had yesterday, and again for your able leadership and that of the majority. I thank you.
Kunji?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I am very proud that this bill has gotten where it has gotten today. Honorable Speaker, I was one of the most keen person on this bill. Simply, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, is because it is touching on very serious matters that I feel I'm passionate about, which is basically, Honorable Speaker, wealth of this nation and how to ensure the wealth we have serves the current and the future, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is one of the bills that makes this House look as it is considering the welfare of our people. As Honorable Speaker, our motto says, for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people. Honorable Speaker, we have not reinvented the wheel. It's actually something that has happened in many places. Honorable Speaker, you read across, you'll see the scandals that have come out of the Sovereign Wealth Fund, from Malaysia to Kuwait to Egypt. And Honorable Speaker, we just want to keep a keen eye.
But
as a
also
House,
encourage the country by quoting success stories. Talk
Yes,
about Norway,
I fully agree,
Denmark,
Honorable Speaker.
Sweden, Finland.
Yes.
Those are shining examples in the skies of the world of what sovereign wealth funds can do.
And Honorable Speaker, as you have clearly said, of course, those are very few examples, and many countries have the Sovereign Wealth Fund. But Honorable Speaker, why we were very keen on it is to ensure that this House continues having a keen eye on the usage of the fund and the utilization of the wealth of this nation. That touches on even minerals that, Honorable Speaker, previously we couldn't know how it is, they're being used. Now we know that these resources are going to be somewhere where we are keenly able to follow and see how it is being used. Honorable Speaker, the majority leader is one of the few moments where he has not mentioned the party leader of DCP in his contribution.
So now why are you
it tells you
bringing
the
him in?
seriousness of this bill.
Yes.
It tells you this bill, Honorable Speaker, is a house for the people.
Yes,
Is a house.
yes, Ichungwa.
Is a house that can.
Honorable Speaker, you know this member for Manyata is a young man who is my very good friend, and he did very well, Honorable Speaker. But just to inform him that I mention people based on need. And you see, on serious national matters like this sovereign wealth bill, you can't mention a villager who has no idea on even what a sovereign wealth fund is. And who, when the time he served as a one-term member of parliament, never, he was among those people who just hung around. And he hung around parliament for one term and left. No wonder you hear him leading a movement he calls one term. Because he imagines everything is one term. So Honorable Mukunji, if you wanted me to mention that one term character, and I had the CS Interior describe somebody as Kenya's #1 goon. And I don't know who the cabinet secretary was describing, but if Honorable Mukunji wanted me to speak about the former one-term member of parliament for Madeira, I would have mentioned him if we were dealing with other non-serious matters, or violence, or such related things. But on a serious matter like the sovereign wealth fund, the two cannot, it's like mixing water and oil.
Yes, Mukunji, wind up. I gave you 1 minute.
Honorable Speaker, now the majority leader has gone back to his factory setting of mentioning my party leader,
the one who
PCP.
started it. Finish up.
But Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that while we pass this bill, I want to actually call upon this House, in the remaining time, we ensure that now we focus on issues that are touching on the welfare of our people, whom we represent, and we are only the people that can speak on behalf of the people of the nation of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, yesterday we had a very interesting engagement. And maybe, Mr. Speaker, while we move forward, the divisions in this House can be reduced to a minimum.
Are you timing? I gave Mukunji 1 minute.
Yes,
Stop
Honorable Speaker.
4 minutes.
I want to wind up. The divisions in this House, Honorable Speaker, can be reduced to a minimum if we use the winnowing trajectory, especially on matters such as big finance bill, and bills are quite controversial because we got ourselves agreeing on matters and agreeing to change when need be. Honorable Speaker, I commend the leader, the chair of finance and everybody that was able.
Rindikiri, 1 minute, and strictly 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. We were all here on this bill, but I want to say also, just like everybody has said, this parliament is in the path of making history. SHA, infrastructure fund, housing, sports, Talanta Studio. The nation has experienced a good leadership of His Excellency the President, who has taken an unpopular path, but creating things for the future. I thank this House for being a keen eye, because this money will be utilized for the future. It is also targeting the marginalized, the abandoned, and discriminated. So I think, Mr. Speaker, we want to really to thank you, being the supreme body, leader of this House, and the majority leader, of course, who has made sure that the people who have been doing politicking have been stopped for the first time, also as part of the history.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want to join my colleagues to really applaud this piece of legislation, which is very important in our country. It is a landmark legislation that is not only looking at the current, but also infrastructural investment, as well as the future generation. Honorable Speaker, we keep doing very landmark legislations in this House, and I want to applaud fellow members for that. Honorable Speaker, I also just want to say to my colleague, my senior, the Honorable Oundo, that the government, the broad-based government, is doing a lot of good things, and we are willing to shake his hand if he unclenches his fist. Thank you.
Last, Chematia.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I also want to add that
you have a minute.
Join my colleagues in supporting this very important bill. and thank the Chair, Finance, for the good work. Mr. Speaker, considering that this country is in high gear to trajectory to Singapore, this is one of the documents that is going to give Kenya a good face. And more so, Mr. Speaker, we are relying so much in the best governance of the President William Ruto. And he has given us the opportunity as members of parliament to do good legislative bills. This is going to give Kenya the best wealth to build this country to be in the first phase and the first world status. Thank you.
Kororia, is this your maiden speech? I've never heard you speak here.
Honorable Speaker, it's not my maiden speech.
Yes.
I've made several other speeches when
Go
you're
ahead,
not
go
present.
ahead. It's with a light touch.
Thank you.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
When you want to speak, ignore those who are talking to you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Pay attention to the speaker.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've just received a text from one of my voters asking what is my take on this bill. That is why I decided to say a word, so that they also capture what my opinion is. Mine is to say that this bill is good for this country, and also when you mentioned about you being in this house from 1992, Honorable Speaker, I've sat here and started asking myself, what was happening with the other presidents and the other governments? If this bill is coming to life today in 2026 from 1992, Honorable Speaker, I think the members who are serving that in the parliament should be awarded and given a medal, because all the presidents or the parliaments did not make to bring Kenya to where it is right now.
I gave you 1 minute and it's over. Give him half a minute to finish.
Let me. I was distracted, Honorable Speaker. Yeah. So thank you very much.
You remember I had told you,
Yes.
you will never finish your journey if you stop to throw stones.
Yes.
At every barking dog.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Melly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to rise to join my colleagues and, more importantly, the Chair and the Finance Committee for the good work that was done. The Sovereign Wealth Fund is actually one way in which this country is going to raise resources for the much needed development that we have. Two, Mr. Speaker, I want to give you and the leadership of the House a lot of thanks, because not only in this bill, but a number of bills that you've shown a lot of wisdom, Solomonic rulings, especially issues that are a bit controversial, but we have managed to win them through. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, the President himself, who is a very courageous man, has not been doing things for popularity purposes. He has been doing it for posterity and for the future of this country. Sovereign Wealth Fund has even a portion for the youth and the future generations. This is a rare bill and it is historical, and we as a House, we are going to be part of a chapter in the annals of this country. I support. Thank you.
Last, Mary Emase, you've been...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also join my colleagues in congratulating the Finance Committee and all the members who have contributed. This is a very important bill, Honorable Speaker, very timely. In fact, it's overdue. I think this is one of the bills that we should have enacted at the beginning of this term. Honorable Speaker, this bill is basically about savings and investment fund. And it will help this country a lot, Honorable Speaker, even in stabilizing the country against shocks, against rise in fuel prices and many other global shocks, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this bill is anchored on intergenerational equity, where that is the principle of today's resources, today's revenues, should also benefit tomorrow's citizens. So this bill, I think I just must thank the President for this, and we must support it to its conclusion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mario.
Thank you, Speaker. I just was wondering whether I will go without saying something. This bill.
By wondering, you are spending the minutes of
This bill is very progressive, and I want to say that it is a very good vision that the President had brought in this House, so that we can eat 60% and save 40%, especially for the future generation that will be there when we shall not bear. So I support.
Thank you, honorable members. Majority leaders, I put the question. Your next frontier must be how to consolidate and harmonize laws relating to our mineral resources. That is where this wealth will come from. There is some documented history that we have as much mineral wealth in Kenya as oil reserves in Saudi Arabia. So now it is your duty to sit with your colleagues and look at the Mining Act and all laws and regulations relating to mining. How come in our economic survey, mining and the income from mining is not captured even to 5%? And people are mining every day. So Majority Leader, that is, you are the infatigable Majority Leader. That should be your next frontier. With this feel-good factor that this bill has generated, pick and run with it. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026, be now read a third time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. If those of the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to establish the Sovereign Wealth Fund to provide institutional arrangements for the effective administration and efficient management of mineral revenues, petroleum revenues, and monies from other sources allocated to the fund and for connected purposes.
Go back to order number 12.
Order number 12, the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2023, second reading.
Chair, Departmental Committee on Labor. Majority Leader, are you holding brief?
No, Honorable Speaker, I wanted to beg indulgence on behalf of Honorable Ken Chonga. He had requested that we adjourn this debate for him. He was engaged in other matters in the constituency today.
So ordered. Go to the next order, number 14.
Order number 14, motion, report of the Kenya delegation to the 151st Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union and related meetings.
Who was the delegation leader? Not Millie Odhiambo is out of the country, I'm aware. She's in Paris. So motion stayed. Order 15.
Order number 15, motion, second report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions.
Chairman, Committee on Implementation, Raval Wanjala is absent. Motion stayed. Next.
Order number 16, motion, consideration of a petition regarding the proposal to amend the Consumer Protection Act.
Chair, Public Petitions, Karemba, absent. Motion stayed. Next.
Order number 17, motion, report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the roads and transport sector.
Chair, Public Investments Committee on Commercial Affairs and Energy, absent. Motion stayed. Next.
Order number 18, motion, consideration of a petition on the management of hemophilia and other bleeding disorders.
The Chair, Health is here, but we had consulted with him and the Majority Leader that this is a special petition by a special group of people, of Kenyans, who I will be happy to have it debated after inviting them to sit in the gallery so that they can hear the outcome and the production of their industry. So we'll stay until after recess. Next.
Order number 19, the Books and Newspapers Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 47 of 2025, second reading.
Chairperson, Parliamentary Broadcasting and Library Committee. Who is that? Is that Epuyo Nanok? Is absent. Motion stayed. Next.
Order number 20, motion, fourth report on audited financial statements for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund.
Chairperson, Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee. Is that Mulyungi? Not here. Motion stayed. Next.
Order number 21, the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024, second reading.
Majority Leader, are you ready to move this?
Honorable Speaker, we had actually adjourned debate on this bill
yes.
under order number 21 and also the one
Assumption of debate, yes.
under order number 22, pending some pending work that the committee was working on, and would request that we adjourn the two bills until the committee finalizes on that over the recess period.
So order number 21
And
stayed. Order number 22.
Order number 22, the Competition Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2026, second reading.
For the same reasons, order number 22 stayed. Honorable members, will you now be upstanding? Honorable Pareo, be upstanding. Honorable members, having exhausted the business on the order paper of today, I want to wish all of you a fruitful recess of 3 weeks, where you are expected to go and fraternize with your constituents, attend to your families, and be patriotic in every undertaking, because you need to count on all of you to keep this country safe and united. Honorable members, it is now 6:17 p.m. Tuesday, the House will now adjourn until Tuesday, 28th July 2026 at 2:30 p.m.